Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from Studio 630 in the burbs of Chicago. It is time now for another episode of Outside the Box. Outside the Box. With your hosts, Oz Osborne and Pee Wee Taylor.
Welcome back, guys. I know it's been a long 2 weeks. I know it's been really long because we had to sit through that whole calendar thing, which seemed to take freaking forever.
Yeah, it took forever.
But anyway, let's not jump right into that just yet. Welcome. We are at episode number 4. We are looking at the camera, and there's no booby pick this time. We just moved the monitor.
We just moved the monitor up there,
so we can actually see us from a distance. Now we just got to wait, and when this starts going with Kalani, we're not going to be looking at it. But anyway, we're back. We had a little bit of problems dealing with mics, so we're back to one mic again.
Yeah, we were having problems. And the thing is, it's not us. We figured out it's a computer problem, so we're going to have to figure out software. But for now, we're on one mic. Hopefully we sound okay, but...
Yeah, the problem is when you're dealing with free software, you can only do so much. So
yeah, we're going to have to figure that out.
But anyway, we'll get back to that. Hopefully you can hear us. Luckily, we don't have another person because then we'd all be like... huddled around the mic.
Like a barbershop quartet.
Something like that.
All sharing the microphone.
Anyway, so let's get right into it here. And I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, Pee-wee, so tell us about your new purchase.
So I have had Alex Torres's XA for 2 weeks. I can drive it without, any issues. I'll tell you what, without a manual transmission, I don't know how that car drives because it takes every ounce of what it has to get it up to 65. And at 65, it hums. It hums at like 3,200. Just wah!
Yeah, but you're staring at 300 miles on that, or 300,000 miles on it too.
Well, it's got 276,000. It had a motor rebuild at 200,000 and a transmission at some point after that. Because mechanically, it runs and drives fine. The brakes squeak a little bit, but other than that, I'm finding little things like just from age, like you got some paint fade, cracked parts. I had to replace a headlight, which I've also learned there's a difference from 05 to 06 in the headlights on an XA.
I don't know anything about that car.
So the dot matrix over the daytime runner is a little bit different. It fits in the same way, and then the turn signal looks different. So I bought this light because I bought it for $50 because everyone wanted $120 because nobody has XAs in my area. I called every yard within my area. And so I bought it, and the daytime running light socket is different, but everything else is the same. It was
It's just the socket that's different?
It's just the socket, and the lens looks a little different.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so...
Well... I'll tell you, and some of you guys are probably wondering why we're talking about an XA. Basically, it's an XB. If you take the body off of it, everything switches over. I know the interior is a little different and whatnot, but all the drop components, all the suspension, all the motor, all is the same on that thing. So now I just got to talk Pee-wee into let me steal the dash out of that one to put in my car, and then vice versa. And then do you think
it would fit? Obviously, I think it's smaller.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the dashboard in the XA is smaller because I feel the XB is bigger.
I don't know, but maybe we'll have to try that and see. Anyway, so then let me get out of here to this and let me do some talking.
Yeah, let's talk about yours. Yours is more interesting anyhow.
No, not really. Look at that. A little smoother. Anyway, so I made a purchase this last weekend and traded in my Toyota Solara for a 06 Scion XB, which was really cool. When I go to explain the insurance company that I have 2 of them now, I give them the VIN and they're like, so you have 2 now? Yes, I do.
I think there's a lot of people that have 2.
Well, the funny part was...
But it's usually a first gen and a second gen.
The funny part was I had to tell them, like, okay, so take the insurance off of the one, because it's staying in the garage and been that way for some time.
You're right.
And put it on this one and just leave it on this one and then whatnot. So they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And
I don't think they care.
So I did buy this. It was very kind of an interesting story. I was going to dinner last Friday with my girlfriend and my daughter, and we drive by this little rinky-dink car dealership in Newark, and I go, holy shit, that's next B. I pull over. I get out, and I'm looking at it in the dark, and I drove to dinner and then came back and looked at it again, and then I got up early, and it was for me, I've got money in the bank, but I am not going to fucking deplete it on shit, so I'm like, I'm going to fucking go get a loan. And I go into the bank and I'm like, hey, can I get a loan? And they're like, sure, you got to meet this, this, and this. So then I'm like, okay, whatever. I go to the dealer and they're like, well, your bank's closing in 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, screw it. Let's do this. So I bought it. And I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'll tell you, it's funny because, I love this Lara. It was a good car. But as soon as I'm in this, I'm driving it and I'm all like, yeah, I got that attitude like I'm driving the Raylan box, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in a normal car.
Well, the thing is, it also sits about a foot taller than his. I got here, I get out of the truck and whatever, I go and look at it, I'm like, wow, this thing's kind of tall.
It's very fucking tall, man. It cracks me up. My daughter got it and was like, Dad, this is weird. I go, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and everybody, I posted pictures of it online, and everybody's like, oh, this poor car is going to get.
Nah.
I'm going to say it. I don't want to cut this one up right now. I'm sure.
You got to have at least one that drives sort of right.
Right. I know, but you know what? I'm already thinking. I'm driving down the road, and I'm going, all right, I got to paint the creature on the back, which my daughter named it the creature. Mm-hmm. Well, we named it the creature, and then I looked up tags and found that I can't steal anything from the creature, so I named it the creature. But I want the fucking font, like on Raylan Box on the back. And
well, you're gonna shave the hat. You want to shave the hatch too, right?
I'm gonna shave the hatch.
You could do that on a daily. I don't think.
The thing that bugs me the most, and you guys are all gonna laugh because I was gonna post about it on the thing and be like, so what are you guys putting in the hole for the
plug,
the
Home Depot pipe plug?
Because I hate the wiper, man. And then I was looking at Daniel's. Daniel still got his from last week, and his wiper straight up. So I wondered if he switched it backwards because that might.
I think he did because I think that's how they do it in Japan.
Maybe.
They have it like at a weird angle. Like I don't.
Well,
or maybe it's broken. I don't know.
You can flip. I used to do that on some of my other cars. You would flip because when you pull out the motor, there's an arm on it. It's usually down. If you flip it up, the wiper will start from the top position and
roll down.
So yeah, we fucked around with that. But I was thinking about doing that. But
no,
I will say this. And Alan did not get back to me because Alan hit me up. Alan Singer, Mr. Dominican Republic. He's like, dude, I got parts I'm going to donate.
Okay.
And then he
send them on over.
He's like, I got headlights, which he didn't send me a picture because that's like one of the things I'm looking for. And I'll tell you what I'm looking for because I really don't like. I think all the lights look like eBay shit.
Yeah, the factory ones are kind of ugly. I never liked the factory ones.
I don't usually have a problem with the eBay shit, but it's like these I don't really care for. I want the JDM ones. You've seen the ones that are round, the two circles, and they're separate?
Yeah.
Not the ones that have like it behind the lens. They're actually two separate, like looking like
they're
lenses.
like pods.
Yes.
Kind of, right?
That's what I want. I don't know what they're called. So if anybody's got any, let me know.
Are those TYCs? Because there's a couple variants, but
I don't think they're TYCs, but
anyway. I know what people do is they'll take the factory ones and pull the red part out of the
that's the taillights.
Yeah, in the taillights.
I'm talking
and then
it
turns them full clear, which looks good.
The headlights taillights I'm gonna put back my ones that were in Raylan Box. I just gotta fix them. So
oh, the green tinted ones?
Yeah, they ain't gonna be green.
What color? That's black for the people watching, right?
Yeah. It is black, it's black sand.
Oh, it's black
which
sand.
Is interesting because I did not want to have a black car, but I think I am gonna keep it somewhat green. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's go to the calendar. You know you got a beer there. Oh, you're heading further than I haven't seen you drink.
No, it's hiding.
Anyway,
I've been drinking it the whole
calendar.
time.
Oh my god, dude. I gotta say, dude, that was fucking stressful from hell. And I'm like,
I couldn't keep up with. All of a sudden, I'm getting bumped. I'm like, whoa, I'm getting bumped.
Yeah, dude.
Shit, I got a bump too. But.
I gotta thank a lot of people for that. I know Alan was there. I think Jimmy Roberts. There's a couple of Jeff. You guys were all bumping me. And I got one other guy that I can't remember his name, and he kept saying he was going to slip off the thing. But
yeah, I mean, I got a good amount of likes. I don't think I made the cut, but I also had the problem where the pictures I had were not full resolution.
Yeah, but that's not the issue. The picture was a lot, and this is what I told you last year. Last year, Pee Wee's like, "Oh man, would you get like 20 likes?"
Yeah, it was a bad picture.
And
no, that was the first year because last year I was in it. I was in the calendar last year.
You were in the calendar, but you didn't get
I didn't get a feature, but that's okay.
But a lot of it does have to do with your pictures, guys. And I'm going to pick on Elliot Salzar, just for one, because his sticks out in my mind. He's one of our guys. Dude, you get the whole car in the picture. That's it. A lot of the cars, yeah, you take a picture, but you know what? Even with the last couple, I just took my car down the street and did some pictures or whatever. And I know not everybody's an artist or a photographer or whatnot, but guys, some of you guys that are down at the bottom, you're going to sit there and go, "Oh, I didn't make it. What's the problem?" It may not be that your car isn't bad enough or good enough. It just may be pictures or what. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that everybody's pictures sucked. There wasn't any pictures that totally sucked, but there's some of them in my mind that I went, you know what? And then there's some of them
that were just outstanding, where you look at them, you're like, wow,
right.
That is great.
You know, like Jeff's picture of his yellow one, he made it. It's funny, dude. We got there's 3 Chi-Town XB cars in there.
Yep.
3 of them that came out of the Wicked Garage. So I may not have got all the way to the top, but I got 3 in there that were in this garage.
And our boy Dan didn't put in either, but his car wasn't ready, which I would have figured something out, take a different angle.
But getting back to the pictures, guys, just take it and plan for it. You know, we did. My shot got done last Saturday. I got the pictures Sunday night, about 2 hours before the go time.
Right.
Which was cutting it close because I remember I was walking into work and it was like, we're off on the 3rd. And I'm like, wait, the 3rd, that's the day the calendar starts. And I'm like, fuck, that's this quick.
Yeah, it's Labor Day, right?
But anyway, plan for it and get some shots, take it out somewhere nice, get some pictures, whatever. It's a good thing to do. It gets you out. And that's, some of us guys at the top, we look forward to this and we build for it. I was freaking out because I'm like, my car ain't running. I want it in the calendar. And, we made it work. And I don't, want to think that I'm on my high horse or whatever. But, just take some advice from it and take a little better pictures, and that, fuck this thing. Like I said, it didn't even run. We pushed it out in the driveway and took some pictures and we made it into the top 4.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not a good photographer, let somebody do it. I mean, I like a photographer, that picture of mine, I didn't shoot that. But the other thing is the other thing I would keep in mind is their whole resolution thing. Cause last minute, it's like, oh, this isn't working. I emailed the photographer like, hey, yeah, I need the full resolution for this, which he knew about. He was all good with it. He goes, yeah, the file's corrupted. I'm like, are they all corrupted? He's like, I only have one, and it wasn't even the one I posted. It's a good shot, but
dude, that just made me realize something.
What?
He hasn't run your feature yet. He doesn't have the pictures anymore.
He has the pictures, but he doesn't have the full resolution originals.
Oh, okay.
So he can use them. They're not going to be. So anyway, but yeah, make sure you have that together and try and plan ahead because I kind of dropped the ball on that.
Well, I think
Nick was cool about it. He said, well, send me what you got and I'll put that in. And I said, okay.
I think it snuck up on all of us, to be honest. We did.
Well, the date was sooner this year because he changed the dates, which ain't his fault because he was like, was he moving or something?
He did still give us some
advance notice. He gave notice. So he was right on his end, but, just better planning.
Anyway, we want to congratulate everybody.
Yeah.
It was great. And, it was fun. I had Wick and I can't remember the guy with the trailer. I'm so bad with names. And I think the girl's name was Jamie.
I would rattle everybody off, but everyone who's listening probably knows about the calendar.
Well,
so they can go look up the standings on it. But
I want to congratulate everybody in the top 13. It was fun. Right. We had a blast. The coolest part was, I think, last year, there was a handful that were over 100. You had to be over 100 votes to make it into the top 13. Which
I was
really
at
cool.
90 something.
I know, and it was tight.
It was real tight.
I think me and Travis Rake tied for 4th at 130 something. I think Jamie was in the 140s a little bit, and then the guy that won, which I'm sorry, dude, I can't remember your name. killer ride though, killer shot. He was in 160, I think, the last time I saw it. So that was pretty cool, and it was definitely neck and neck. And like I said in my post this morning, I'm sorry for all the names I called you guys in my head for passing me. Anyway, so but other than that, now we've got the 23rd is the cutoff. So
to buy the calendar,
and I have to buy one. And like Wick said, if he doesn't sell enough, he can't do the calendar, and everything was for nothing. So let's make sure that we buy them. Buy one, buy two. You know,
he's not buying extras, and if he does, you're gonna pay probably way more than you should.
Yeah, well,
and
that's always the thing. There's always I missed out, dude. You got
did you write? It was the September 23rd.
23rd
was
yes.
the cutoff date for buying them
for the last one. So remind me, Pee Wee, I got to order.
From this point, you got like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
just check your calendar. Everyone's got a calendar.
I always push to the last minute.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Next, we got to thank Mr. Steve Bell at Motivar Concepts for some shirts. You know, he hooked us up. We got your sticker up here on the TV. I don't know if you can see it.
You really can't see it because it's white lettering, but you can see the R.
Yeah, well,
it's there.
It'll pop up when we get Kalani.
Yeah.
But we're gonna definitely we definitely want to, show support for that. Which kind of brings me to another thing I want to bring up real quick. The support. I know you guys, when it comes to advertisements, I know when I listen to podcasts, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to subscribe to that or
coffee subscriptions, shaveclub.com, whatever.
Dude, I'm intrigued by the Shave Club one though. I am going to say. But,
yeah, I mean, I have an electric.
What the fuck is the one with the where they send you your meals and you just cook them? Yeah, whatever.
Oh, Blue Apron. That's what it is. We're not even. No, I don't. I shouldn't even shout that name out. But like,
yeah, but
I would never in a million years do that.
But anyway, what my point is with this is, guys, I know we all kind of turn our heads when it comes to that, and I was doing the same thing, and I'll tell you what, listening to our lifestyle podcast. They really say, hey, do you like this? Do you really want us to keep going? Remember, the guys that are helping us do this are our sponsors. So hit up Dark Side Embroidery. If you guys, if you need your stickers, right now we do have stickers available.
Yes.
I don't have any myself, but all you have to do is watch the outro, look at Brian's email or address, which is for Facebook, go to it. Say, hey, dude, I want a sticker. He'll make them whatever color you want. Boom, you got it. Okay? You want stickers, there's that. And that money helps us to get the next thing, which is the shirts, or excuse me, hats, and whatever else. And that keeps us going because right now we need something to get rid of these bugs. But
we need some fly traps.
We need new programs, obviously, so that we can make this thing work. And me and Pee Wee aren't all like huddled together like it's cold. It is. It is a little colder today, though.
It is nice and cool in here. I am not sweating. The last one, I was in here just sweating it out.
But anyway, hit up Rando. Hit up our guy there, Brian, for the stickers at Darkside Embroidery, shirts, hats. Hey, if you guys need something, like he didn't do this hat, but you need a hat. You need something done. Dude, most of his stuff, he doesn't have stock photos or things. He just does hats. So you say, hey, I'm in Psychotics. I'm in such and such a club. Or, hey, I just want a hat with my car on it. Dude, he's doing some kick-ass shit. Hit him up. He can make it for you. He does shirts as well. That's not to take away from our boys down here at Motivar Type Concepts. They're doing a little bit different. It's an open
market.
But he's helping us out too. So we've got that. Rando, like we said, I'm going to have to hit you up, dude. I'm going to need those freaking fender tab things here shortly. Maybe we can do it.
Are yours busted?
No, but I'm going to want them. So maybe we can do it.
When they do break, you're ready?
Yeah. Well, I want to hammer this bitch. So anyway, but maybe we can do a video on that to show the install so that we got that.
Yeah, I suggested that.
But who else we got? XB Garage, Wicked Knobs. Hey, the Wicked Knobs thing, I'm pushing it again.
3 of them.
I got them back here.
They're cool.
Behind my head.
I have one.
They're one. When I say one-off, they kind of are and kind of aren't. The knobs I buy from a company, I modify them to work. A lot of the guys come to me, and I'm one of these guys that I am a stickler for things to match. The last guy, if you see the girl behind me, that was Vampirella, if you know the comic book. I took that, modified it so she's in a corset, and I'm making it to fit his needs by took off jewelry that she had on and whatnot. But those knobs are all made to fit your car. It's not like some of these other guys. It's like, hey, here's the knob. Looks like it was painted by a 5th grader. I'm not going to say his name, but I hate that fucker.
Or you're not buying like eBay ones or something that looks generic.
I paint logos. I've done them for Sunset. I've done them for Psychotics, I believe. No, that wasn't Psychotics. There was a couple other clubs if you look on my Facebook page. But whatever, I modify them to meet your needs. And if you want something a certain color, I can do it. If you want something to match something perfectly, I can do it. And that's what I do. And I just got a guy. He hit me up with a bobber that he wants a Harlequin shift knob. And I'm going, dude, I don't have Harlequin. And he shows me a picture of the seat. And it has this skull with pigtails. And one eye is like a heart and the other is like a diamond. And I go, check this out. Boom. Throw him a picture of it. And it's basically the same thing. The eyes are both hearts. I'm like, I can modify it to make that work, but there's no hair on the skull. It just has the pigtails. And I'm like, I can make it. He's like, done.
You know what would be pimping is if you got like one of those like costume jewelry diamonds and actually put it in there to be part of it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I get carried away. But
I've done, no, dude, I've done them. I've done rhinestone.
Oh, have you done rhinestone?
So let me tell you this story about it. I was doing a motorcycle and it was all, this was before the bling thing happened, and I like, okay, cool. I'm gonna put rhinestones on this. So I put my first coat of clear on it, stick the rhinestones on them, get it all nice, neat, clear over it. Well, you know what makes a rhinestone sparkle? The little facets on the things, the little cuts.
Did you clear over them and they became like flat and
so colored? I cleared over it and they're flat and it just looks like these little chrome things. And I'm like, fuck. So then I grabbed a I grabbed an X-Acto knife and I picked. Well, I didn't scuff the rhinestones, so the fucking top coat of clear popped off, worked perfect, and it was embedded in the clear. So that's what you call a happy accident. But anyway, I can do all kinds of shit. Flake, sparkles, spikes, whatever you want. Hit me up.
They look good, too. Like, they are more detailed than, like, I don't even know how you paint them. I'm, like, looking at them, like, how did you paint that?
I don't know sometimes.
You sit there and you're like...
Paint fumes make you do things. But anyway, hit us all up. And then our last one is another one for me, which is the Wicked Garage, which, hey, if you're looking for that hood that everybody wants, I can do it.
He may not be in stock, but he can make one.
You might have to drive a little bit, but we got them, and we can do it. Other than that, that's that. But make sure that you definitely hit up our sponsors, because those guys are what's going to keep us going, and they're going to help us go further and further. So, when we want to have dancing girls in the background, those guys are going to pay for it. So... Anyway, what else we got here, Pee-wee? We got shows. Bovagon.
Bovagon is September 29th.
September 29th down in Florida.
I think everybody knows, but I'm going to just say it again just because.
Go ahead.
That the show's happening.
It's happening.
I don't know what's available. You got to figure that out on your own because.
But did I tell you what happened this week?
No, what did you do
Mr.
this week?
Brian... down at Darkside Embroidery, I hit him up. I said, hey, can you make some outside the box stickers? He said, yeah. I hit up the guys down at Box Lifestyle. Hey, if we make a bunch of stickers, can you hand them out or put them in your goodie bags? Guess what? It's going to be in the goodie bag.
There you go. So if you're going, you will get an outside the box sticker.
Yes, and he's got several different colors. He said he was going to try. He can try to keep them in the XPs. Obviously, we're not all box stuff, but if you're going to go. Ask if you guys want. Maybe he can hook you up with a sticker if you're not registered or whatnot. But register, take it over there, take some pictures, send them to Pee-wee or I. And
we want pictures and videos. You can send them to either or, and we will try to incorporate that and cover it.
And you guys. Another thing that we want you to do also is if you follow the intro, we've got our Instagram addresses on there. Hit us up on there and make sure you follow because
slide into the DMs.
You can hit us up.
I respond to my DMs on Instagram always.
You can hit us up on the DM, but not only that, we post pictures. The videos that were up here last week, I put them up on my Instagram page so that everybody can see them up close because I know the lighting and that's not the greatest in here, but anyway. So there's that. We got the stickers, Dark Side Embroidery. Thank you again, Brian, for making that happen for us. The other show we got, which is somewhat local, but if any of you guys want to make the drive, like we said last week, Dan is trying to move to Vegas. Well, I shouldn't say trying to. He's going to. And he's
yeah, it's not
here.
trying. He's going.
He's
That's
out
set
of here.
in stone.
And next weekend on the 15th, we are going to put together a little dinner. The Chi-Town XB guys, if you're wanting to make the trip, come on up. We're not exactly sure where we're going to do it yet. I think we said Naperville, but we'll find a place. And
somewhere within that area.
Somewhere on Saturday next week, we will have it. If you want, hit up the Chi-Town XB page, and we will have some more info on that. So, other than that, we got anything, Pee-wee?
I think we've hit it. I think we've hit it all. So we have a guest today, though.
We do have a guest, and we're going to do this a little different because we are not going to go straight through.
We're doing a two-piece, but it's all at the same time.
So we're going to cut away to a short video, and then we are going to let you see our guest, who is somebody that we're definitely impressed with. And
yeah, this is a guy who's done a lot.
Yeah, and he's definitely coming out really hard right now.
Right.
And came up. I was fucking giving him a hard time. I'm like, dude, you fucking came way late into the calendar thing, and you still made the cut. But anyway, check out this video and see who we're talking about, and we will see you guys again in a second with Mr.
Must be. Yeah, I know better. I guess we have no problem with it.
You know, I find your carelessness extremely bothersome. If anything happens, I'm coming after you.
You must be Eli. See, now I know better than the chief men like you.
Oh, good. I guess we have nothing to worry about then.
All right, guys, welcome back, and we have the pimp man himself, Mr. Kalani, right here, man. Welcome, brother.
Aloha, guys. How you all doing?
We're doing good, man. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. I was downstairs for most of the morning, actually, working on the freak XP that I have here.
Oh man, we pulled him away from the XB. That sucks, but I'm glad we didn't like screw up your afternoon. We had a few problems, as you guys know, in the beginning.
Yeah,
but poor Kalani's over there. Are you guys ready yet? We're like, sorry, man. Hold on.
Free software screwed us today, so we're gonna have to upgrade at some point.
All right, Pee-wee, you take it from here, brother. And I put the thing on your notes.
What thing I'm gonna?
The computer's on your notes. So I hope you remember.
Oh, that's all right. I think I'm gonna just do it off the fly. So, Kalani, why don't you tell us about yourself to the people that don't know who you are?
Oh, and there's quite a bit of them out there that don't know who I am. I'm actually I was born and raised in Hawaii, in a town called Waipahu, which is about 5 minutes west of Pearl Harbor, and that's where I was born and raised at. And then I lived there most of my life. I actually moved away in the early '80s to San Mateo, California, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area. I lived out there for a number of years. In fact, that's where both of my kids were born, and they both still live out there. And then on the same day that the Oklahoma City bomb went off was the day I moved back to Hawaii that very morning. Wow. So, of course, needless to say, our plane flight was delayed for obvious reasons.
Right.
So,
yeah, wow. That was a while ago.
Yeah, and I moved back. That's when I moved back home. And strange enough, when I had left Hawaii, the only other time I left Hawaii to visit California, LA at this time, to do a performance. I do old school dancing. I've been doing this dancing since about 1972. And some of you probably seen the film clips of it already. But anyway, I went up there to do a performance with my group. We brought from Hawaii in Long Beach. And then, of course, the day that we got ready to go back, 9/11 happened. So.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, you need to stay off airplanes, man.
You should just not be taking airplane flights anymore.
That seems to be the comment. I need to stay home.
So how did you end up in Texas then?
My wife's sister lived out there for a number of years. She married a military guy back in who was stationed out in Hickam Air Force Base back in Hawaii. So they got married and traveled all over. Then they retired here outside of San Antonio in a city or a town called Schertz. And so my wife used to fly back and forth out here and visit the sister. I never came out here. I had no really desire to come out to visiting in Texas.
Right.
But being that my wife's sister lived there, she used to come out here all the time for many times a year. Then we ended up buying the house that we're actually living in right now. We ended up purchasing the house, not necessarily planning on living in it, but more of an investment, because we were, like I said, I had never planned on moving away from Hawaii.
Right.
Anymore after I moved back that time where I lived in the Bay Area. But one thing led to another. The place we were renting in Hawaii, most of you who know about Hawaii and the cost of living, it's extremely high. So that little place we were staying at, which is barely 500 square feet,
wow.
we were paying $1,400 a month.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they were going to raise our rent $200 more, plus begin to start paying for garbage and water, which would have brought it up to close to $2,000 a month.
Wow.
Yes. So my wife, she had made a decision or had a suggestion to move out to our house in Texas. And, I don't I was ignorant. I didn't know anything about Texas. So the first thing popped in my head is Ku Klux Klan and all that kind of stuff. And I was ignorant. I'm sorry. Not to put Texas down or anything, but that's what I thought. But she told me, at least in this area, it's not like that out here. What made it a little bit more difficult to make the move is I'm the only child, and my mom had passed away about a month or two before we moved out here. So I made it very difficult to make the final decision to move out here. So I had to talk to my dad, and my dad almost slapped me in the head and said, "Boy, what you want me to do? You should take care of your family. Don't worry about me. I'm a grown man." So with that, he said, we packed up our stuff and left.
Wow.
This was back in 2007, September 1st, 2007, we moved out here. And strange enough as it is, in my closet, I have this box that I packed things in, and I still have not unpacked that box yet.
So you're not fully moved in. You're kind of moved in.
And that's actually probably subconsciously for that specific reason. I feel like if I unpack it, then I feel like that's it. I'm never gonna be back. And so
it's final then, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. It's really
I know it's a longer explanation than you asked for, but
oh, dude, that's perfect. It's funny though, because we've been to Texas. I've been down there twice now. We just go down for LST down there, and was it outside Houston?
No, I think it's 45 minutes north of Houston. Yeah, and Conroe.
Conroe, yeah. And dude, I got down there and I was like, of course it was February, and we're like, I'm moving here. But I haven't been there.
I liked it.
I haven't been there when it's hot yet. But I think for you, it's probably a little less hot than it was in Hawaii, isn't it?
Oh, heck no. Over here it's ridiculously hot. No, it's crazy. Hawaii, the average temperature in Hawaii year round is about 80 degrees.
Oh, that's nice.
The ocean temperature stays about 71, 72 degrees year round. And so it's much milder than it is over here. Over here, we've had many months consecutive 100 plus degrees. I'm not
Yikes.
I can't take that. So,
well, I guess I'll take that statement back. But
I appreciated being there in February. When I left, I'm like, I don't care what the weather is. I'm wearing shorts because it's like 20 degrees here. I get there and it was like 60, and the hottest it got was 80. I'm like, yeah, this is nice. But
yeah, that time of year. But wait till summertime comes. Oh my gosh. It's not comfortable.
We were talking, listening to another podcast, and they talk about car shows down there, and I think it was Texas Heat Wave. It's been gone for several years, but they
brought it back, didn't they? And then
but
it changed. It's not the same though, because
it's been gone for a while. But they said I think it was in July too, and they're like, if you don't have air conditioning in your car, you're dying, and that's all you do is sit in the car. So I was like, wow, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's true, bro. In fact, when I had a 95 Chevy Silverado I brought over here, I customized. Some of you go on my Facebook page, look in the photo section, and the photo listed as previous rides I used to own or something like that. I used to have this nice orange one, Lamborghini orange, and I went all out on that one, customized-wise. But I brought it to a Texas Heat Wave, and I won first place on that one. And,
nice.
That was my last time I ever entered a car in a show, because my attitude kind of changed as far as entering shows like that. But we won't get into that. But anyway, that was the last time I entered the show. In fact, I got the trophy sitting back here and up the thing. But I got rid of most of my trophies from back in Hawaii. But yeah, man, those heat waves. They call it heat waves for a reason. It's talking about like 100+ degrees. It's mental up there. It's real crazy.
I've heard that show was like really like the show to be at if you were down south when it was still around. But
well, when they were talking about it on our lifestyle, they were saying that was like the show that like made Texas what it was for the mini truck scene. Took it away from California. So we're talking it had to have been pretty badass. So to get a trophy there, I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna have to look up that picture and see what you got. So.
Oh yeah. Go check it out. Well, it's kind of ridiculous. The things I do to my cars is kind of retarded, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we don't know what you're talking about. Well, you actually led me up to my next question because I always like to ask everybody, what did you have before you had your XB? Like,
oh, bro, yeah. Since I've been here in Texas, bro, I've probably gone through about 15 different vehicles.
Oh wow!
From body dropped Frontier. What are those? Those Nissan Frontiers, I think they're called. I had a body Frontier. I've had a 1957 Lincoln Premier bagged. I had a Mustang 2 front end. Actually, Gas Monkeys. I actually built that one. Believe it or not, this
really
became popular. Yeah. So, but I bought that. Then I sold it to a friend of mine in Hawaii. Shipped it down there. I've had a 91 Chevy Corvette. I went all out on that one. Put a body kit on there, made the back spoiler and all that kind of stuff. Made a carbon fiber front hood for that one. I've had all kinds of cars. That Chevy, like I mentioned, I've had a 69. Yeah, this is the picture you got to see. That Bug, VW Bug. I had a 69 VW Bug. I chopped up all the pieces and I put it back together. I can't even explain it. You just have to go in the pictures.
We'll have to look at it because it sounds interesting. So you have a pretty extensive background with cars, I see.
Home garage type. Yeah, I'm not a professional or anything. Everything that I do is inside the garage downstairs, with pliers and stuff like that.
That's what it's all about.
That's cool, man. And you're going to end up getting a crap load of fucking friend requests so everybody can look at your pictures now.
Bring them on. No problem. I accept all friends' requests.
Nice. Very cool, man. And it's funny. When we were talking a little earlier when we were setting shit up, I know you brought up the whole Hawaiian scene and how different it is. Why don't you bring the people up to speed on that? Because it's definitely cool to hear about it.
Yeah, I've heard it's different there.
Yeah, the Hawaiian scene over there, per capita, since out of all the states that I visited, not that I've visited all 50 states, but all the big states I have visited, Hawaii seems to be the one that per capita has the most customized vehicles. And we're talking about slam vehicles to four-wheel drives to go-karts to those little Vespa, whatever type of thing. We want to customize everything. A skateboard, just everything we want to see the custom. But I was telling Rick, I believe Rick Hernandez, or that's the one that owns Pure Elegance. He just recently got married. He went over to Hawaii this past year, earlier this year for his honeymoon. And I was telling her, I'm telling you, bro, hey, when you go up there, you're gonna see a whole bunch of customized vehicles. Every single day you go up, I'll guarantee you'll see all sorts of different vehicles. And sure enough, he did. But yeah, because we have a lot. We're in the middle of the Pacific, so. Although, we have access to the internet now. Back in the day, we used our own, creativities and what we did, and we had a lot of strange looking. Maybe that's why my car looks the way it does, because of my background from Hawaii. Who knows?
Well, your car definitely has heavy influence from your background, from what I've seen. The whole way it's themed out, the way it's decked. So so that leads me up to ask you, like, what brought you to the XB and made you go, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's the next project.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago, we went to visit. Went back home to Hawaii to visit, and we were there for about 10 days or so. So my nephew Mark, you probably recognize his XB. Well, the XB he used to have. he took us to the airport in his XB, the second generation, and I fell in love with that thing. I was amazed how deceivingly roomy it was on the inside and the outside. Yeah. It's like one of those clown cars. If you have a small little clown car, you got 2 clowns jumping out of it. I mean, it was amazing how roomy it was. So a couple years later, when I had the opportunity, I believe it or not, I traded in my Jaguar. That was my gift to myself. For my 50th birthday, I traded in my Jaguar for an XB, and I told my wife, "No, I'm not going to touch it. I'll probably just put rims in it." Oh my gosh, yeah, no, that didn't happen.
It all starts out so innocent. You know what? That's how I fell in love with the second gen XB, because I had a friend who bought one in 2009, and I got in, and I'm like, "What is this?" I fell in love with it. It's like, it's huge in here, and then years later, I ended up buying one. So.
Right. So that's exactly what happened with me, and, originally I honestly, I really did not intend to do anything to it. I thought I would just throw a set of wheels on there and that'd be it, and I don't know. It's just one thing just led to another. And the funny thing is, when I did the first chop top, the wedge chop top, I was still paying payment on it.
I love the chop top, because I remember I found it on accident on YouTube, and I'm like, dude, he chopped it, and then I found you years later, and then you're like, no, we're gonna turn it into a truck. I'm like, cool.
Well, and that was one of the things. Another thing we talked about, earlier. And you're not a professional. You don't really have a body shop background. And I have a body shop background, and I have yet to try a chop. Well, I've done a chop top. I didn't finish it, and it is not an easy job.
No,
man,
there's a lot. There's a lot to that.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, a lot of the young ones out there, I think it might be good. And that, of course, I'm not at all putting any of the young ones down. I mean, I appreciate the things that they're doing and everything like that, because they're keeping our culture alive and, pushing it to the next generation. Right. I think it'd be good to, for everybody, not only the young, really, to actually look in depth and do some research on exactly what it is that it takes to do something like that. I mean, you're changing a whole top portion of a vehicle, and it reminds you now, it's designed to, the roof is very essential of how to deflect when it gets in the crash, all that stuff comes into play, and now you're totally destroying that blueprint that the original creator had for it, and you're putting your own spin to it. So you're taking apart something that was molded out of molten metal or whatever, or presses or whatever, and you totally change it and fabricating pieces that does not exist to fit in those little parts. I mean, you could have a gap in the roof. Once you bring the roof down, you could have a gap about so big, and of course there's no piece that fits in there. There was no piece intended to go in there, so now you literally have to get a piece from another part of the roof that you no longer need, and bend it and shape it and pound it. And I don't have a French wheel or anything, so I have this little cement block and rock on the side, and I'm sitting there hammering it, and trying to get it straight as I can, hammer it more, and then people, especially the young ones, they just do not understand. I mean, they'll look at the car and either say, "Oh, that looks crazy," or "Looks ugly," or "Looks cool," whatever, but not really understanding what it takes.
Well, it's just like what Oz did. He body dropped his, and like he says, there's no manual. He had to figure that out on his own, as you did with the chop top. I mean, is there any other XBs with a chop top? There's one first gen, but like nobody's done it before you, right? On a second.
I think there's one other. There's a second gen. He was actually at SEMA about 5 years ago. It's a plumish color, plum and black, and he did a full chop, bringing the roof straight down on that one. So as much as I'd like to, I can't claim the title of being the first one. And I believe there's actually another one that was a card for sport. I think he raced it on the salt flats, and his was also top.
Well, and doing a wedge like you did the first time, that complicates it as well.
Right. Right.
Yeah. That is even more difficult than doing a straight chop, because you're bringing the top down and you have to extend it and widen it too, because these are not full they're not squared, so they kind of fold in like this. So when you bring your roof down, now you have to make up that space,
right?
That gap between, yeah. So now you have to, which is called stretching your roof. So now you have to stretch your roof to make it fit the way it did originally. But now in the back, when you're doing a wedge, you have to measure to where you're not doing a straight chop, but you're kind of cutting like this. So now
you're putting a bevel on it.
Right, so which means you have to start measuring, make sure it comes down correctly, or you're screwed.
Right.
And we had a friend of mine, Dexter, had a unique way, good idea. So what we did is all we did is trim the back part of the ABC pillar in the back.
Right.
Then folded the outside skin over itself, and then we marked it, and then brought it back up and cut it right there, so we knew exactly what the angle would be. So that made it a lot easier. But the rain gutter, there's like a little piece up for the second gens. There's a piece for a plastic part on each end. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We just got rid of that because we didn't even want to even try to match that too.
I can imagine.
That would have been a nightmare.
Let me ask you this though. What did you do with the doors? Because when you angle the roof, the door, does the window track, you had to cut that and change it, right, to fit?
The back window part, I decided to turn it into a panel truck the first time we did.
Yeah, that's right. It was a panel truck.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a panel. So I turned it into a panel, which was those doors are still functioning. But to answer your question, what we had to do is we cut the the frames of the window. And actually, windows are actually pretty easy. We just cut the top parts of the window frame off. Then we match it up to the angle of the roof, existing roof, and then we cut the pieces of the other part of the frame that comes up to match the angle. And so that was actually pretty easy to do. The front window, actually, I hadn't had a chance to go out there and have it professionally made as far as made out of glass, so it's Lexan in the front there.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, side windows. They're Lexan glass. The front windshield is cut. It's the original windshield, but cut down, as it is this time as well.
See, I didn't know that.
And that's my biggest thing, because I want to do a chop on rail and box, and the glass. I think I can do the rest of it. The glass has been an issue. I know, obviously, with you doing the panel on the side, that saved you a lot with doing the side glass, and that's one of the things I think with doing mine. That's going to be the easy part, because a lot of them I can just take the window and push it down, build the bodywork over the top. But the big problem, what I want to do is, and closing that gap that you say, when you bring the top down, you don't think about it, but when you do, there's a gap that opens, because obviously the front windshield is a curve. So as you bring it down, it opens this gap. Right. And what I was planning on doing was with the XB1, the windshield's so straight up and down, I want to lay it back, which is what a lot of the guys used to do.
Where you cut the A-pillars and then tilt the whole thing backwards.
Tilt it inward. No, let you know, actually, that's what I thought about the front windshield. But if you cut it straight down, you actually be able to use your window exactly. You won't even have to touch your window. Your window will work.
Really?
Yeah, it will work. It won't go up as far, obviously, because now it's not, the roof is further down.
Right,
as far as angle-wise and everything, your front window will be exactly the same as was. You won't have to do anything with it. Now, when you're talking about angling the front pillar in, that's where you're going to have issues with the window. Now you got to, because now the angle of the front pillar is different than it usually was.
And I like that look of the wedged glass, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do it. I know that the side glass is going to be different, but obviously with, like you said, you got Lexan windows in yours, which would probably make that all doable with that. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And there are people out there that will make the glass and cut it. It's a little bit more, obviously it's more expensive, but there are people out there that will customize side windows for your car. So.
Well, that was one of my dreams, was I wanted to fishbowl my XB, and I'm like, okay, it's like, I got to figure out where to get it, but that's also, it's not a thing of like, oh, that's not something you can make. That's something you got to spend money on. I mean, you can make flat Lexan, but it ain't going to be right.
Well, my problem with Lexan is
Lexan's expensive.
It's expensive and it scratches easy.
Okay, like a 4x8 sheet of Lexan, like if you get 1/4 inch, it's like a couple $100, isn't it?
Hey, that reminds me.
What?
Lexan.
Oh, shit, I totally forgot about that. I was supposed to make a Lexan cover for it, and I did, and I made it too big and put like sides on it, and he's like, this isn't right. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'll fix it, and it's been sitting in the shop, and I just...
Okay,
totally
sorry.
Anyway, that's a topic for later, but
now we totally derailed everything.
Yeah, we just derailed the whole thing.
So you've got to drive that thing around. It's got to be crazy, man.
Oh, bro, no, yeah, it's been over 2 years since I got to jump in it and actually take it on the street. And at first it was kind of nerve wracking a little bit because I didn't want to damage it or anything. But after a while, I started settling into my own and started driving it like it's supposed to be driven. And
right.
And I'm glad how everything ended up. My main concern, obviously, would be everybody else's concern would be the visual. And it ended up working out perfect where I cut down the seats a couple of inches, the seat brackets, and rolled them back there. So now the vision's right there, right where it needs to be. I don't have to back down or hook up where it's right where it needs to be. So it's very comfortable. I can see a lot.
Well, it was funny because I was going to ask you about that. I'm like, okay, well, how tall are you? And with everything you changed, can you still see out of it? Like, how tall are you for reference?
I'm not that tall. I'm actually I'm average. I'm 6 foot tall.
Okay, you're like
you're not tall at all. I'm 5 something.
But yeah, I'm 6 foot tall, and even or not, when I sit in, I still have about a good 2, maybe 3 inches of headroom still in there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's enough because I was always curious.
I don't know how those guys can do it. I got in a new Lincoln something.
Oh no, they like all these new cars. They keep shrinking the headroom.
I'm short. I got in there with my hat the other day.
Did you scuff the headliner?
And I'm like hitting the fucking sun visor. I'm like, how does somebody tall drive this? A nice car, but anyway, sorry. What else you got, Pee Wee?
So now, like the bed, I see that you took the rear gate and made that the back of the cab, right?
Right. Yeah, I took the back hatch, and then what I did is I cut it in half. With the window still in there, believe it or not.
Right.
I cut it in half, and then I was debating whether I wanted to be functional or non-functional. And I figured I wanted more of a clean look, so I decided to make it non-functional, just make it part of the body. So that's why I welded it in there and covered it all up. And then to add a nice touch to it, not that I didn't like the XP lights, but once again, we're all about customizing, making it look different. So I took the original XP lights. And I used them as a mold to put made metal. Well,
you had to shave them out, right?
Right. Then I put the metal pieces in its place, and then I bought the 74 to 79 Cadillac tail lights.
Yeah, the DeVille's, right?
Nice.
Yeah, but you flipped them.
Right, yeah, flip them upside down.
I like them flipped. It gives it a different look because when you see them right side up, it kind of, if you know what you're looking at, it's like a Cadillac. But when you flip them, it changes, like it tapers down instead of up.
Isn't that weird? Just by flipping them over, people.
It's incredible.
The tail lights are those Cadillac tail lights. It's just simple tail lights.
Well, they look evil upside down because they got that dagger look.
They do. That I always liked when he flipped them. I'm like, yes, that's how you do that.
Well, let's go to the front end now. Obviously, when you look at that thing, that grill is amazing, dude.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's not perfect. I mean, if you look at it closely, you see it's off a little bit here. But I'm gonna tell you something. That grill only took me literally about 47 minutes to make.
Oh wow!
I had some extra piping laying around in the house, and I said, well, why not? So I got the pipe and I went to our house. You got pillars, in our house and everything. So I got soft sheets and I put a wedge in between the pillars, and that's how I bent them.
Oh wow!
Okay. Get that curvature. I don't have. I'm gonna tell you now. I literally do not have tools. I shouldn't be doing the stuff that I've been doing in the garage. I have a pair of pliers, wire cutters, a welder, a screwdriver. Those kind of tools, literally, those kind of tools I've been using work with. But anyway, that's how I bent them. I bent them with hand. And so some of them are off a little bit, some of them bent a little bit, but you know what? Hey, it was made by hand.
It looks good. It looks good from where online it looks really good.
Well, and what I want to mention is you just heard it straight from the man. He's got probably one of the craziest XBs in the industry right now.
Yeah.
And he did it without the tools that everybody, I don't have the tools. Dude, it can be done. And
it's got a hammer.
I love it because like you said, you're pounding on a rock. I've gotten bricks out and I'm hammering on dolly using a brick. I'll go out to the edge of the street and use the sidewalk. Yeah. And that's it. You just got to think and do it. And there's a way to do it. And obviously, you got to kind of have a knowledge of stuff, but there's ways of doing it. And you don't need that, well, what's a metal brake? $500?
I don't have money for that.
It's not that much, but dude, when you're not doing it every day, $500 could be the software I need to do this. So
I've clamped stuff down with 2x4s, and you make one. You can do that too.
And that's probably why we get along so much, so well together, dude. It's that
really
grassroots custom shit. So.
Right.
I love the whole not low budget, but the no budget method where you just figure it out as you go.
And that's what it's about, man. Kalani is, I look up to Kalani. I see what he's got, and it's amazing, dude. It's
pretty incredible.
I'm like, dude, I need to finish my shit. And seeing that interior, which you're like, oh, it's not done yet, but I'm looking at those pictures going, wow, dude, it looks fucking awesome.
Well, and the cool thing with that grill is, you know what that grill kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the original concepts where it had the full grill that went all the way down the front.
Oh, yes.
That's kind of what that reminds me of.
Think about it.
No, it looks cool, the big chrome look. So now, just for entertainment's sake, do you have bolt-ons, or is everything handmade just for entertainment's sake?
I'm trying to. I'm actually, everything is handmade.
Yeah.
My whole idea for this XP, I wanted to give it an old school look, an old school hot rod look.
I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it.
And I thought to me, I think the grill was what touched it off. The old
school.
For sure.
Yeah.
Old school grill. Yeah, that was my whole reasoning behind it. And like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Some people look out there, what the hell did you just do? You ruined the whole car. And that's their opinion. I totally
Well, you know what? They can take their coilovers and their bolt-on and kick rocks. That's how I feel about it. That's exactly how I feel about it. I'm like, whatever.
Well, and it's funny you say that, dude, because, you look at the SSR or whatever it was from Chevy, and
it's
along them lines, but I think you nailed it. I think you nailed it better.
I think is cooler than an SSR, because I always felt that those SSRs were like old white people, like.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I did get to drive one. When you stomp on it,
Are they fast or no?
Yeah, that's fucking nice. My dad sold his. I don't know why.
That would figure, like.
But anyway, do you got any other plans for that thing? Are you just gonna drive?
What's next?
As you both know, that calendar contest just ended.
Yes,
and we just talked about that.
And so when Rick Nollis, now let me stop there. Rick Nollis, doesn't that sound like the W is supposed to be on the last name and the N is supposed to be the person?
It is. He flipped it for Facebook. Yeah, I don't know why he did that either. It's Nick Wallace. Yeah, it's Nick Wallace.
Wait, dude, you just totally outed him.
Oh, no.
That's why he didn't make the calendar right
Probably
there.
not. Well, that and my photographer screwed me, but that's okay. It wasn't his fault.
Sorry, Rick. But anyway, so his when he made the announcement of the winners for the calendar thing, I put a little response to it, thanking everybody and everything like that. And I'd like to say aloha, Melissa, for the help again, by the way. But anyway, this has been a 5-6 year plan in the making. I've had 4 phases. And I put a picture of my last final phase. The third phase is going to go to. The first phase was the wedge top. And the reason why we did that, not only to change the XP, but to understand the metal and how it works. And
to play with it a little bit.
Right. And then the second idea, originally it was going to be another chop. I was going to chop it lower, but then I decided to go ahead and add the truck version over to it.
Yeah.
So that's my second phase. Now my third phase, and now if you look at the picture, what is that? It's like a little black thing on the side there in front of. I see. I don't know, is that me or?
Oh, I can't see it. It's on Pee Wee's side.
What is he? What is the thing?
Like your side on the picture is like really dark.
Oh, what is that? Oh, I don't know. That's weird. Is there? There's a
bug.
There was a bug on the camera.
Oh, there was a bug. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? There's something on there, and then it goes flying away. I'm like, whoa. It's always something. Every episode, there's something stupid like that.
I know, but you know what? I turned off that fucking compressor.
Oh, you turned it off this time? Oh yeah, the last time the compressor kicked on. Yeah, it's always something.
Dude, that was crazy.
But so the truck conversion was actually was an afterthought. So my third phase is a rat rod looking type of thing, and I posted a picture on that response. So you'll see.
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, I didn't either.
So yeah, that's the second phase, and then the next phase would be for the LS1 or whatever motor to go in there. So
that was the one thing that I was thinking, dude, is it needs that V8 rumble.
Where can you go? He's done everything. It's like, what do you just do something big.
He's gonna put the V8 in it, and he's gonna go after those SSRs.
Probably got the same motor.
The best way to do it would be to get a. I've been thinking about this for, like I said, for a few years, and probably get a S10 frame, and I'll probably just have to cut out the unibody, and then I'll mount it on an S10 frame. I think that would be the best way to go.
You know, people have said they were going to do that, or they're like, oh, I think I can fit a Blazer frame. I'm like, okay, this sounds like these people don't know, but I think you'll figure it out. I think you'll be
and that's exactly what they did with the V8 one. I cannot remember the guy who has it.
Not Roberto, right? There's another one, right?
Is Roberto the one? I think.
Yeah,
he bought Dave's.
Yeah, the truck one that's got the V8.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what he did. Is he took a front clip off an S10, square body, cut it off, sectioned it into the rails, welded it all together, and then built it that way.
It makes sense. I mean, LS1s and S10s have been done a bunch of times. That's not new, like a new premise, but taking that frame with the subframe and all that together is going to make that easier. That's the only way to do it, right?
Right.
Oh, yes.
And then you got to go with the whole rear-wheel drive thing, which is totally changing everything. And the nice thing about S10 is if you do the S10 clip, obviously they got drop spindles. They got everything you need to put that thing on the ground.
Well, everything for an S10 is stuff you can still buy, whether it's aftermarket or through GM. Anything for an S10 you can still get your hands on one way or the other.
And that's exactly my whole reasoning.
Smart.
It'll make it a lot easier.
And that's my intention. The next phase for mine is I wanted to do V8. I want that rumble, but I went down there to Las Vegas and saw the guys down there at Vegas Rat Rods and liked the diesel shit. And I'm like, you know what? I probably wouldn't have to push the firewall back if I put a 4-cylinder diesel in there. So,
well, and those 4-cylinder diesels, like the pistons are huge in those things, so those things aren't small. Like,
yeah, it's misleading. The 4-cylinder part is actually misleading.
Yes, it is.
It's very deceptive because you find out that those 4-cylinder engines can pull.
Well, and that was my theory on it. As I was looking at them and I'm seeing them put these 4 cylinders in these full size Chevys, and I'm like, 4-cylinder diesel, you know, it's got to get fairly good gas mileage. You know, diesels get better gas mileage as it is, and you'll get the power. And I was thinking it'd be cool to tow with an XB, you know. Yeah. And not only that, I can roll coal because I was thinking.
Why don't we just put a gooseneck out the rag top and you can just do it like that?
The thing I was thinking is I want to roll coal and have the fucking smoke shooting over the fucking rag top.
Well, yeah, just have it so it's just hitting the windshield.
But anyway, that's us.
I don't think I'm going to do an engine swap because I've got a lot of other stuff I need to do before I get
you
to
got
that.
to.
And I don't think I'm smart.
He just upped you, dude. You got to fucking.
I love how everybody he puts me up to a chat. He's like, oh, well, somebody did this. I'm like, well, you're gonna have to do that to one up it. I'm like,
well, and that's what's cool about the calendar, man. Is like, you know, I sat there and I watched that, and I'm going, you know, I say that I was mad, but you know, I'm not. I like that motivation that you get. You're like, all right, I got this place this year. I want to be the cover next year, and this, that, you know, put you back in the garage to get back to work.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And it seemed like for the most part, everybody got along and had a good time with it. So that was good.
It was. And it was amazing, dude. You know, every year it's a little more crazy, you know, and like I said earlier in the video here was, you know, everybody had to be over 100 likes to be able to make the top 13, which is fucking crazy. Cause I think, you know, the last couple. There wasn't
even 100 people on it the first year.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously more and more people are getting into it. So.
Oh, definitely.
So anyway, we're getting close to that. You got anything else you want to bring up, Pee-wee?
I think I've hit it just about everything. I love the interior, by the way, because I've been wanting to do my interior, and now I'm like, okay, now I really want to do my interior. But
you got anything you want to bring up, Kalani?
Yeah.
Oh no. It's just I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely fun talking to you both.
For sure, man.
It's good watching you guys too. You guys seem to have a really good chemistry together. So hopefully this really takes off, and I don't see why you guys won't have a bright future. Just remember me if you want to do voiceovers or any commercials for you. I'd be glad to do that.
Well, you're the guy for that. You are like Mr. Hollywood. So.
And we got to thank you for that, dude. I'll tell you, man.
Yes.
I get freaking people. Oh my God, that intro, and I'll tell you. I think I may have said something to you earlier, but like. I got the voiceover as I was getting up in the morning. I was at my girlfriend's house, and I'm like wanting to wake her up to go, look, listen to this. And I didn't have anybody to show it to.
Me, and I'm like, dude, yes.
So I was so excited, and thank you for making us look professional.
Thanks for having me. Because I remember you were talking about this. I said, hey, please, man, hey, let me do the voiceover first. Please, let me be a part of this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you let me do it.
And that's what I like, this thing, we threw the whole thing together. Pee-wee came up with the idea. I finally came around to it, and it just seemed like everything worked out. We said something about it. You said you wanted to do the voiceover. We had people that I want to sponsor. I want to do
everything
this.
Lined up, and we had support. We're like, all right, let's just go for it. So
and it's working out great. And I thank you very much, man, because it's amazing.
We appreciate it.
And you guys saw the video that we put up there. Check out some more. He's got some other stuff on YouTube as well. It's totally cool. Let's just kind of finish up with this. That video clip that you were sending me is for a video or a movie. What are you making there?
Is that the one with the helicopter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's about this subject. Actually, it's a serious subject. That's actually finally, after all these years, trying to make it to the public's ears, and that's human trafficking. And there's 2 towns in Texas. One of them I happen to live nearby, just outside, which is San Antonio and Houston, happen to be number 1 and number 2, or number 1 and number 7 in the world for human trafficking, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
And so that movie is being made. It's been 2 years. It was on the shelf for a couple of years, and they brought it back out. And we just filmed the last scene for it a couple of weeks ago. But it's called Warriors of Yeshua. And it's a locally produced, it's a low-budget film. But it's to show, it's to bring awareness to the public about the seriousness and something that's literally happening around them.
Well, and this is happening. This is a thing that's happening everywhere too. I mean, it's happening all across America. There was another one I think called Traffic. It just came out not that long ago, but I think they kind of made that more of a Hollywood scary story, but not like. I think what you're doing is a little bit different, but they still touched on the fact that it's a problem and that people need to be aware of it and report it when they figure it out,
Yeah, it's a huge problem. In that particular clip or this movie, I play a character named Juan, and I'm a bad, but I play a bad guy, and I'm a human trafficker, obviously. And my character breaks away. He was working for that Russian mob, the ones that was in the helicopter shooting at him. He kind of went under them and started grabbing their customers or whichever. So the Russians get found wind of it, and that's where they're coming after me in that helicopter scene. But yeah, it's called Warriors of Yeshua. Hopefully it'll be edited and coming out very soon, but I'll definitely post it up. Not to show people about my acting thing, but more to show people for them to watch it so they'll see exactly what's going on. And speaking of which, there's a documentary. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and send the link to you, and then you can post it up on your thing. This is actually a documentary the same subject, which has scenes from that movie as well. It's about human trafficking. And if every one of you out there who's watching this, please watch that. It could possibly save your child or even your neighbor's child or somebody you know. You can possibly even save their life. But I'll send a link to you, and that way you can post it up if you'd like to.
Definitely.
The more you know.
The more people that watch it, the more people lives we can save on those.
For sure, man. That's definitely. It's funny because I actually watched a video on that not too long ago, and I was, I'm the type of person that I don't take and hide much from my daughter. I want her to understand things, and she's only 10 years old, and there's only so much you can tell them. But we were talking about that. Hey, if you're in Target and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, your dad's hurt," I go, you go to somebody, and talk about that with your kids, because, that's exactly what the video is talking. They getting these kids younger and younger, and it's terrible.
It's really scary that that's something that we have to worry about, but it's.
Anyway, we can't end on that note.
No, we got to end up on a positive note. So Clyde, do you have anything you want to ask us?
We'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, we're putting you on the spot.
I gotta look at my list here. How did you guys end up meeting? You guys have such good chemistry together. We
met through a Facebook group, and it was his Facebook group, and we met at a show, and then he had scale cars he was selling. I'm like, oh, I'll come get him. He's like, come on out. And I came here and hung out with him, and then I think we just kind of hit it off from there.
Yeah, and the chemistry thing is, I think it's scaring our girlfriends just a little bit. But yeah, it definitely, and I...
Through XBs, pretty much.
XBs and Hot Wheels and whatnot, and I'm a bad
here's the lighter, here's the crack pipe, and then you're at toy shows buying stuff. But.
Well, it's funny because every weekend he comes down here, he's like, I'm not buying any Hot Wheels, and then I take him out Hot Wheels.
And then we go to Walmart, and I'm like, oh god,
you're not buying any Hot Wheels this weekend.
No, I'm really not. I really can't afford it. I just bought a car and whatnot. So, you have anything you want to plug? You gotta want to plug your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever,
or shout outs,
Yeah, I'll just say aloha to my kids, Leilani and Kalani and Jace and Jarek, and to my grandkids, Ikaika and Leilani, who live in the Bay Area. And, Leilani is actually my daughter, sorry. Ikaika is her son. And that's pretty much it. I mean, aloha to my wife, of course. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here right now literally talking to you. She's actually downstairs preparing for our food truck and everything like that. And I'm up here,
Oh, no. So. Oh, we don't want to keep you, but we've about hit our time mark. I think we hit all the bases. It's been a blast talking to you.
For sure, man. We'll definitely have you back.
If you're ever in our area, you have an open invitation. So
for sure, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Same here. I mean, we have lots of room. You both are more than welcome to always stay with us whenever. You and your Ohana. Please come by and hang out with us and visit us.
For sure, man. I definitely want to slap hands with you. It's definitely been a blast, and like I said, you're somebody I look up to. So I appreciate it, and I thank you very much for the intro and everything. And we'll have you on soon.
Definitely. Take care, guys.
All right, you too.
All right.
Have it later, dude.
All right, guys, welcome back. We took a second here to get some shit situated. We got the Kalupi channel on. A little more something to look at. Now you know what the hell we're talking about. We talk about the Kalupi channel.
It's Garage TV.
And this is why we don't get any work done. Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever.
We got to get back to you guys because we forgot that we didn't do a couple little segments. We didn't do our shout outs. We didn't do our question of the week, and we wanted to do that. So, question of the week, I had somebody hit me up on Instagram, and they asked me what welder I use for doing body drop, and kind of want to elaborate on it a little bit. The guy asked me about it. He's like, what kind of welder do you use? I use a MIG welder. And then he asked, do you use gas or do you use flux core? And I said, well, you can't really use flux core on it. And then I was kind of me, I guess, and my wording isn't always the greatest. And I had said to him, hey, you know what, if you're going to ask me these questions, man, maybe this is above your skill set. And I didn't mean to offend him. Like I said, sometimes my words don't come out right and I have to sit back and what I got to do is type it, then let it go for about 5 minutes, think about it, and then maybe I'll reword it. But, I apologize for that. But, my thinking in that is that I don't want people to be over their skill set level. I don't want you to do something and end up hurting yourself, your family, or wasting a car that's worth, thousands of dollars. So I say stuff like that. And, please understand that I don't always say the right shit, but that was my meaning on that. But it did kind of bring me into a thing about wanting to bring up the whole body drop thing, because I wanted to, we don't really discuss that much, and we didn't bring that up before, did we?
Body drops?
I don't think so.
You brought it up on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You explained what it is, but I don't think we've ever talked about it on the podcast.
All right. So basically what a body drop is, for those of you guys that don't know, you see a lot of these guys with these XBs and they lay the body kit down on the ground. What a body drop is now if you take, you take that side skirt off and you look at the vehicle, you're usually about 3 inches off the ground. Okay. there's something else. I can't remember what the hell it is that you hit first. There's something way underneath that stops it. So that's why you can't go past that.
It's some type of, isn't it part of the subframe that hits or something? Or
I can't remember offhand. I'd have to I got a video on it. If you look through the Wicked Garage stuff, there is another one on there with it. But that lays out, and then your pinch is still off the ground, so it looks like you're not on the ground. So what I did, and what a body drop is you end up cutting the whole floor out all the way around. You take the body loose from the floor, drop the body down those 3 inches, and now your pinch weld, which is the bottom part of the body, you see that if you take the side skirt off, and that then touches the ground. Or if you want to go further, you cut that off and you lay it body, and you go from there. But that's what a body drop is, and that is what allows you to get super low on that. That's how I'm able to tuck and all that. And that's one of the reasons why I get upset sometimes when we get into slight arguments with the whole static guys, because they're sitting here telling me that they're low, which, hey, you guys are low. That's cool. But, for me,
you can be low, but don't come over here and tell me I'm fake low because somebody on bags is lower than you.
Yeah.
That's about all I got to.
And that whole thing was just the whole, but it comes down to is, well, I don't know, where are you going to go there? But anyway, that's what we want to talk about with that. So there's how a body drop works and whatnot. And hopefully that clears a little bit of the light on that, or whatever you want to call it. Next thing we got some shout outs. I got to thank pretty much everybody for the calendar shoot. We got Patrick Mack, who took the cover, which is definitely well-deserved, and congratulations on that, brother. Jamie, unfortunately, I wrote your name down, and I can't read my handwriting for your last name, so I'm not going to try to destroy that. But congratulations on that. We also got Wick, who took third, which is very fitting that he made it in there and got that, because he does all the hard work on the calendar. And then I think me and Travis Rake tied for fourth. So I got to thank all you guys and for making that fun, as well as the rest of the 13. I apologize if I don't mention your names. I know Jeffrey, Bob, Alan, Eric Roos. You guys are all on there as well, but I'm going to give you shout outs for other shit as well. Shout out to Eric Roos. I know you were helping me out with bumping shit. I tried to return the favor. I didn't always do that, but thank you, sir. Same with Jeffrey. Jeffrey helped out a lot. He also did the shot, so I got to thank him a lot for that, because he definitely made me look better than I think I look. So we've got Mr. Bob Clark, which you always got to thank Bob Clark. He's like, what's that guy they talk about in the mini truck thing that you always got to thank? Anyway.
I don't even know. I know where you're going with that, but I don't remember where you were going with that.
But Bob, we always got to thank you, brother. You helped out too as well. Thank you very much for that. Oh my God, we got a goddamn commercial. Alan, brother, man, I thank you very much. You did a lot of jumping me up there.
Yeah, he bumped me too a bunch of times.
So we got to thank you for that. And we got to talk about them parts. Jimmy McDonald, I got to thank you, brother. You helped out as well. And I don't think he made it this year. I think he's been on in the past, but
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Hopefully we'll get you in there next time. And last but not least, we got Jimmy Roberts. He gave me a pretty huge compliment, and unfortunately I didn't know how to take that compliment. So, but I thank you very much, that dude, and I definitely appreciate it, and feel the same about you. Who you got for shout outs?
Pretty much you nailed most of it. I'd like to thank anyone who bumped me. I didn't quite make the cut. I had about 90 or something. I was close, but I don't know. It's all right. But I'd like to thank anybody who bumped me up or hit the like button. I appreciate it.
And all the people that voted, man.
Yeah.
It was amazing, to think that there's 130 some people that dig my car and
no, there's more than
there
that, but,
and whatnot. But I thank you very much for that. And we'll do it again all next year. I think we're done.
I think we've got it.
I think we did.
We did get new equipment though. We got a new bar stool, and we still need another microphone stand. And I told somebody, I said, "Yeah, I need a bar stool and a microphone stand. I'm picking up stand-up comedy." But I don't know. I thought it was funny, but
I think you're funny sometimes.
Every once in a while I'm funny, but I think we're out. I think we're done.
But hey, and also if you guys are out there and you got any ideas for us for software for
if you have any input on software of how to record video and use 2 microphones seamlessly, and we can edit a little bit like on a dummy level,
we would
let
really
us know. We would really appreciate that.
And we got to thank the Kalupi channel.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we don't have to.
We don't have. Well, they're getting the free promotion.
They're getting a free promotion. Fine. They can send us some shit. But thanks a lot,
guys.
Thank
stickers.
you. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Who are we going to have next week or next time?
I believe Rake.
No,
is
I don't
Rake
think
not coming on.
We have to talk to him about it.
We'll have Rake. I'm gonna hit you up.
We got somebody
tonight.
We'll figure it out. But hopefully you guys are still enjoying it. We're enjoying doing this, and thank you very much. And don't forget to support our sponsors, which are following this. So make sure you get Brian's Instagram, email, whatever he's got on there. Facebook. Same with Wicked Knobs. And go buy Rando and stuff and get low. Until next time, get to the garage and let's do some work.
Later.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! Y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that 1st and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a list like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing, he couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded, since the first kick flip he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park. Started in the morning, one stopped after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry, young man, there's no skating here. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. And away he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick,